Welcome back to my channel. In the last episode, I introduced my dividend fast pass strategy that's going to help me retire in 5 to 6 years instead of 20 to 25 years. Now, in this episode, I'm going to talk about what I bought with my dividends received from 9,300 shares of YMAX and ULTY. Okay, so let's start off with the income I generated on August 8th. My first distribution was from YMAX, which is a yield max option income ETF, and it's known as the fund of funds. Now, if we look at some early distributions, you can see that they ranged from 10 to 13 cents, and this is considered below average for YMAX. However, if we look at some later distributions, you can see a slight increase from 16 to 18 cents, and this is considered an average distribution for YMAX. Now, if we look at my most recent distribution for August 8th, 2,300 shares at 14 and a half cents per share, my total distribution was $334.19. I also received distributions from ULTY, which is another option income strategy ETF, and it has exposure to 153 companies. Now, if you look at this chart here, you can see that it is quite tech heavy. So anytime the tech sector has a downturn, ULTY may be negatively impacted. Now, for my most recent distribution from ULTY for 7,000 shares at 10 cents per share, my total distribution was $702.10. And this distribution is considered above average. ULTY holders will know that this ranges from 8 cents to 10 cents, with 8 cents being on the low side, 9 cents being the average, and 10 cents being above average. So I'm quite happy with this week's distribution. Now, in addition to distributions received from ULTY, I also run cash secured puts. And so last week, I sold 10 contracts expiring on August 15th. And so I received $100 total for 10 contracts. And I think this is a good way to diversify my ULTY play. And if I do get called, then I'll be able to purchase shares at a discount and I still received a premium. So I think this is a win win situation for me. Now, looking at the total distributions for August 8th, came out to $1,136.29. So I think this is a pretty good week for me. So let's talk about reinvesting for growth. Now, in the first episode, I mentioned that the primary problem with growth funds is the speed of capital accumulation. So, if you have a lower capital start, then you're going to need more time for that capital to compound. But if you have a higher capital base, then you're going to need less time to compound. And so, in this dividend strategy, the goal is to generate as much income as possible in order to buy more growth assets and increase compound action. So if we look at this picture here, you can see that in a traditional investing style, it would take 5 years just to reach 150K principal with a payout of about 5,000 in dividends per year. But I'm doing this in less than 2 years. And so as you see in year 10, I hope to do it in year 3, year 15, I hope to do it in year 4, and so on and so forth. So let's talk about what I'm investing in. And my 2025 goal for SCHD is to have 7,000 shares. Now, with this dividend strategy, I was able to accumulate 3,300 shares in July. And the good news with this dividend strategy is that I have more income to buy SCHD. And in August, I now have 5,400 shares. So this is quite fast for me to accumulate SCHD shares. I remember it took me, wow, like a couple years just to accumulate 1,000 shares. And now I'm able to do it in just a couple of months. So, with my distributions from August 8th, I was able to buy 50 shares of SCHD at $26.84. I really missed the dip here. I think it dipped around $26.30, but I just didn't have enough capital to purchase SCHD at the time. But I still bought it under $27, which is my buying range. And the total came out to $1,341.75. So now I hold about 5450 shares of SCHD. So I'm pretty happy with that purchase. Now, just looking forward, if I'm able to reach 7,000 shares of SCHD before the next September dividend, then I'll start buying shares of the next stock, which is CGDG, and this is from Capital Group. I currently have 0 shares, but I hope to have 500 shares by the end of 2025. But we'll see. It may take me longer to get 7,000 shares of SCHD, so I might not be able to purchase CGDG until October, but we'll see. Okay, so that was episode number 2. For the next episode, I'll talk about more dividend growth investing. In particular, I'm going to talk about why I chose SCHD and CGDG to be the pillars of this dividend fast pass strategy. So I hope you'll stay tuned. If you got any value from this episode, please drop a like. And if you want to follow my journey, subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.